What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Felons with Firearms. Devin the Dude, 34th T. And today we're gonna be discussing the first step required in order to get that Second Amendment restored. But before we get to that, let's check and see what we got in the mail today. Cause it's something I've been waiting on. Something I've been waiting on for about a week now, man, and I'm real excited. I got my notification today that no, get away from that water. No. Got a notification today telling me that my package was here, and like I said, can't wait to see what it is. Let's see what we got here. Got a grip module for my P320 SIG, so I can change it from that earth tone to solid black. As well as, here we go. This is my holster for that ridiculous 500 Magnum that I showed you guys in the last video. So it finally came, my holster for my 3-inch barrel 500 Magnum, and my grip module for my P320 SIG. It'll turn my SIG from that earth tone to solid black. And of course, you know, this is for the that bear killer. But anyway, down to business. So today we're going to be discussing the first step that you need to take in order to get your Second Amendment restored. And the first thing that's required is that, you know, you be released from probation. Quite simple, right? It might seem like a no-brainer, but some people don't know that. You'll be amazed at how many people have asked me to help them restore their rights, and they're still on parole and probation. I'm not gonna say it can't be done, but as far as what I know, it hasn't been done. It has not been done. But yeah, first thing you need to do is be released from probation, and you have to provide documentation. I would say it took me about a year after release to get off probation, and the crazy thing about it is that my probation period was indefinite. I have my papers here. My probation period was supposed to be indefinite, but also for the remaining time of my sentence. It was supposed to be 8 years. I did 2 years incarcerated, and they suspended the 8 years. Surprisingly, it only took me a year to get off probation prior to my release. After my release. And, you know, my probation period was supposed to be indefinite, or at least for 8 years, because my convicting charge, I was sentenced to 10 years with 8 years suspended. And, you know, here's my probation summary here. You know, 10 years, 8 years suspended, indefinite probation of 10 years. So, again, it only took me a year to get off probation. So regardless of whether, you know, people say my probation period is indefinite, or if it's for 5 years, 7 years, whatever the case may be, as long as you stay focused, stay optimistic, and, you know, prove prosperous, you can get released from probation. And all I did was, after about 8 months, I just asked. You know, the worst they can tell you is no. So I went to a probation visit, and I asked my probation officer, hey man, what do we got to do to get me released? You know, I've been doing good for, you know, 7, 8 months. I haven't got into trouble with the law. I've been complying with your stipulations. I've been working. I was in school. You know, at that time I was bodybuilding. That's a story for another day. But yeah, at that time I was bodybuilding, so I was big as a house. And he said, we'll just submit it. You know, the only thing we can do is ask. He wasn't against submitting the application to the judge because I wasn't doing anything wrong. So with that being said, like, the first step is to get released from probation. But don't forget that you also have to provide documentation of your release. So here's mine. This is my order for the judge to release me from probation. And it say thereupon the court orders that the referenced defendant be released from supervision of the probation and parole officer on the conditions that defendant comply with all terms and conditions ordered upon the court's imposition of suspended sentence on January 14th of 2014. So basically what they're saying, they released me from supervised probation and I was on what's considered unsupervised probation, which meant, you know, I didn't have to make any visits, I didn't have to give any urine samples, but I had a keep the peace stipulation that remained over my head for the remainder of that suspended sentence. So, like I said, I had 8 years of suspended time, so I was supposed to keep the peace for 8 years. And in the event that I got in trouble, they could reviolate me. And they've done that before in a prior situation. My order to get released from supervision, and I say it took maybe a month, I believe, before I got this in the mail. And this is my official document from the Commonwealth of Virginia stating that, you know, please be advised, I have recently been notified of the termination from any further probation supervision, and you will no longer need to report to District 32 office. So here is my letter releasing me from supervision. So I am no longer on probation. And this is what's required. You will have to provide this with your petition to get your Second Amendment restored. Pretty simple, right? Not too difficult. So, you know, with that being said, like, if you haven't been released from probation, make that your focus. I'm not telling you to stop researching how to get your Second Amendment back. I'm not telling you to stop being proactive and trying to accumulate all your resources that's needed in order to get your Second Amendment back. But make sure you get step one done first. Get released from probation or parole and keep up with all your documents. So thank you all for tuning in to Felons with Firearms. It's Devin the Dude 34T. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notifications, like and comment. If you have any questions, please comment below and I will get back to them as promptly as possible. But until then, peace, love, and light. Have a great day, and I'm ready to go play with my toys. What's up, YouTubers? Devin the Dude 34T, and so stay tuned.